Hi, I'm Cortavius here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Was requested to show Dark Fae Hard 120 team. Actually, I think they just asked for Dark Fae, but figured might as well go to the top and show 120. This team, and I guess really any team I think that can beat 120 can work on any lower difficulty. So if you build to this level, it certainly works. You don't need the same speed and accuracy that you need at 120 on lower difficulties, even in hard. It's a big jump to 120. But I'll show this one, and then, as I said, if you just can't hit those stats, then you will limit out at some point if you're not at the speed or the accuracy. But the big thing is the sequence that works for Dark Fae. So just showing this team, and those that see Ninja, don't worry, I'll show it. I'll show one right after this that I'll take Ninja out, put somebody else in, because I know Ninja can be hard to get. But the other one's Deacon being an epic out of the Doom Tower, and then Allure, who's pretty obtainable and still obviously a free to get login champ. Herndig and Ninja then would be the specialty ones here. But I'll talk about the roles because both of them are replaceable. Actually, everybody on this team is replaceable. It's really just what are you looking for and what's the order. So if I go into the team setup, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Really, the key here is Deacon is the fastest on my team. That can be Deacon, that can be Haikatoon, that can be Arbiter, that can be Morrigan, Oella, anybody that comes in and speeds your team up and slows the other team down. So his big skills, he'll come in and he'll fill the turn meter of all the allies and drop the turn meters of all the enemies by 15%. Then he goes right into a decreased defense. So Deacon's a great open. Because he can put the other team back on turn meter, drop the defense, and let your team take out your mirror copies at the boss. He also puts up leech on the boss, which allows your team to heal. My team's not fast enough, so I will take hits from the boss, so that leech is helpful to heal back. And so he's at 271 speed, and he's got 359 accuracy. That accuracy is about the minimum I need to land those debuffs, I believe. The speed doesn't have to be that high, but I do find the faster your team is, the better off you are. I think my next fastest one is Allure. She's at 269 speed. So when she gets to the boss, she will first try and sleep the team and put the decreased defense if Deacon didn't land it. I'm probably going to wake them up with the next turn, but at least then it stops them from cutting in and taking a turn. And then the next fastest on my team would be Syl. So Syl will then stun everybody. So I've got one more time a chance to slow them down. Hopefully she kills somebody too because she's got some decent crit damage and a crit cap on her. So, and then I think my next one would be Herndig. So Herndig then, he can kill with his A1, kill with his A2, kill with his A3. His job is to take the rest of the mirrors out if there's not anybody left. And then Ninja, really, at that point, he shouldn't have to take a turn before the mirrors are gone, so he's there to kill the boss. So if I just show you the skills by round, Deacon will use his decreased defense on round 1, and then I turn it off. And then on round 2, I turn everything off but the A1, so he has his abilities back for the boss. And then on the boss, he can do whatever he wants because his AI is smart. Herndig on round 1, he's free. Round 2, he's free. And round 3, he's free. Because, as I said, he can kill with any one of his skills at the boss, so I don't need to turn off his skills. He actually is the only thing that kills waves for us, really, because I'll turn off most other abilities. Allure, she can do anything she wants on wave 1 because she'll get her abilities back, and actually at the boss I really only want the one skill. So at A2 I will turn off the temptation so that she saves that for round 3, and then she can use her A3 if she wants, or the A1. And then at the boss I turn off the A3, that's a useless skill for her really, and then I will have her open up with the AoE as I mentioned, and then from there it's off and she only uses the A1 because I just want her to decrease turn meter. Syl on round 1 will open up with her stun ability, her AoE, and then I turn it off. She could revive, I guess, but nobody's going to die. And then on round 2, I don't turn off the revive because no one dies anyway. But the A2 she will open with and then turn that off. If you are on lower difficulties, I'd probably turn that off too, because on lower difficulties you can kill the waves faster, and then her skill would be on cooldown. There is a risk in this one even. I probably should pay attention to that, but I think she'd get it back. And then on round 3 for Syl, she will open with that AoE, and then I turn that off so that she does more A1s where she can decrease speed. I do find she's sketchy to land that. She's only got 280 accuracy, so it's not really high enough, and I don't have an increased accuracy on this team. Ideally, she'd have more accuracy. It works, so I really don't care enough, but it is a flaw in the approach, just because she won't land that decreased speed as much as I would like. And then Ninja on round 1, he doesn't use anything. Round 2, he doesn't use anything but A1. So on round 3, he opens up with the AoE freeze, just in case anybody's still standing, and then he will switch to his, he'll switch to his burn. As I said, I will show a ninja substitute when I'm done as well. So you can see the other thing too is everybody's fairly squishy. Deacon's got 42,000 and 2.8 million. Herndig's sitting there at 34,000, 38,000, 51,000's a little high on the HP, and 34,000. I'm trying not to have anybody too strong. You don't want a defense champion. You don't want a big HP champion here, because otherwise your mirror would be tough to kill. You really want somebody who, as I said, in my case, I'm relying on Herndig to kill anybody. So if his A1 wouldn't kill someone, this run fails. So I need, or could fail on auto. So this run is not 100% either, but it's about 80% maybe. But since they're just keys and I don't lose energy, I don't care, and it's pretty fast, so I'll just let it run. So let's take that in and show you what a run looks like, and then as I said, I'll switch Ninja out and put somebody else in there to show you what that spot looks like. So as I said on the waves, I'm just letting them go based on those skills. Herndig will take Wave Run out pretty fast. Wave 2, it's all force, which is weak affinity for Herndig, so this wave can take a little longer. Actually, 4 out of the 5 champions are magic, so not good matchups. But they'll get through it and no one gets hurt. I don't even know if the enemy takes a turn, to be honest. Well, there's one. But you can see they don't even hit. These waves aren't hard at all, so you don't have to have really anything in here to survive. The waves in these higher levels are still pretty easy. Not like the waves to get to the floor 120. The boss waves are a lot easier. And Allure will really hold turn meter back too. So as I said, Herndig just uses A3, so it's his big ability, so he'll be weak coming in. Now here, if I just stop for a second, so they'll take the mirrors will come in and they copy your team. This is why I said Deacon is set up to be the fastest, because your fastest champ has to cut back that turn meter or your mirrors will go first. So I'll let that run. Didn't land the decreased defenses, that's good. Syl on the other team could still stun us all. There you go. Now she'll turn around and steal Herndig, or she'll steal Ninja. So we got to kill Ninja before Ninja kills us. But with Herndig there, that's pretty easy to do. Now it's just a speed game. The question is, does she get turns, or can you hold her turn meter back? So Deacon, Syl, who resisted, that's what I said. See, that decreased speed isn't landing with her. If I had more accuracy, she'd land that decreased speed, and that would really help us. So we can still lose because she could get too many turns. Deacon really needs to land the leech too, because then everybody would heal off that. But he doesn't seem to want to land that either. But as you can see, Syl is healing us, which helps. Herndig can drop the turn meter, as can Allure. Leech is up from Deacon, that helps. Now you'll see everybody's health bars jump up as they attack. So now we're back up to full strength. That means we can take another hit. If this fight goes too long, she'll steal another person. But this team is pretty capable of killing whoever she steals, so it's not that big of a deal. At this point, we're usually pretty safe. But I have seen it where she steals a mirror and the team just keeps attacking the boss and ignores the mirror. It's just, I have no idea why, and it's really stupid when they do it. But on full auto, if I'm not paying attention, you may just have a loss and you just got to run it again. Especially if she steals Herndig. If she steals Herndig and they don't attack him, you can take the whole team out, so it sucks. I don't know why on earth they do that. But I'm not going to sit there and click on them, so if that happens, run it again. So you can see this run's going pretty good. I think this should be a win. Most of the times it will fail when they first get to the boss, so you'll fail in a minute. So if it fails fast and you just start it over. So not a big deal. But as I said, it goes about 80% win rate. So that's the ninja team. I will, let's take ninja out, put somebody else in, and I'll show you the thought process though. There is thought process to who else would you put in based on having Herndig. Well, thank you for the epics. I'd like to see legendary pieces, but I guess you need a mix. So let's edit the team. As I said, there is thought process here because I have Herndig. I can't put somebody in that's tanky. Oh, we don't want that team. I can't put somebody in that's tanky, and it can't be like Force Affinity because then Herndig could weak hit. Now, as I said, Allure, Syl, and Deacon are pretty nice in this team. Herndig's nice because he does have an AoE, or I should say he has got a full turn meter drop, but that could be somebody like a Nethril that has full turn meter. You could do Soulbond Boyer if you have enough speed and accuracy. So there's other people with turn meter drops that could be in this spot. I mean, you could even use an Armiger, I guess, because Armiger does that max HP hit, a Cold Heart. So you can use people like that in this role, and then that would give you more flexibility who you put into the 5th spot. So you just need 2 roles that ideally do damage and some turn meter drop, but they have to be able to kill each other is the interesting part. So I don't want, if it's Force, it's got to be squishy. If it's magic or spirit, that can be okay, but you also have to watch if you put a spirit person here and they can't kill Herndig and Herndig gets stolen, that can be a problem because the run can fail. So let me just go through and say, let's just pick somebody in here that isn't too unattainable. Let's take an epic. So let's take Dythe. So he's Force. So that can be a problem for Herndig to kill him, but he's attack-based and squishy enough, I think Herndig could still kill him. And the benefit is he's Force against Herndig, so maybe he can kill Herndig. So they can probably kill each other, which helps in this comp. I guess we've got to look at the team settings. So if we put him in, let's just turn off his, because they're on 4-turn cooldowns, so I don't want to have a chance that he doesn't go. So let's just turn off his abilities. And on round 3, I think he can do what he wants. Well, just in case the AI is stupid, let's have it do the open to self buff, and then it really should run into that one on its own. So let's try Dythe in here and see how that goes. As I said, I don't expect any of these teams to be 100%, but it should work. I'll show you an example. If you take Ninja out and you just put a DPS spot, what are you looking for in that DPS? Well, let's see how they do. As I said, I turned off his abilities. Dythe would be really nice on clearing these waves. I'm at 45, 43, look at that, 2 A1s. Dythe's pretty nice. He is 6-star awakened, so he is a decently built Dythe. I think you saw the stats on that screen. I will go into the builds for all these champs at the end of this. If this run fails, I'll run it again. But if it is successful, I'll show you the builds for all the champs so you can see gear too. I mean, you can see I really like Dythe. I only use him in the faction actually. I never use him anywhere else, but I really should because I really like that champ. Well, let's see how we do on the boss. So they'll steal everybody. Deacon still goes first. Then Allure, she's got drop defense on everybody. He 80,000 damage. Man, Dythe worked well there. Alright, now we gotta see if Herndig can kill him. And the Fears can proc too, which can be a reason your run can end. As I said, that's the RNG. I've seen a nice strat with Shamail in here, and he will strip those fears, and if you put him with less attack than your nuker, then they will steal more attack. You put more attack than your nuker, then when you kill the nuker, Shamail will strip those fears off. So it's kind of a nice use of Shamail I've seen on teams, but I don't like him just because he doesn't drop the turn meter, so I feel like I'd rather have someone else in there. So we made it past the mirrors. That was nice. We made it past getting stolen. And you can see Dythy's definitely using that leech to his benefit and healing himself. He's not as fast as Ninja, I don't think. So the longer this run goes, the more risk you have, because she will come back to that turn where she steals a champ. But I do feel with both Herndig and Dythy in there with doing some nice damage, we can make up for having a champ stolen. You just got to get enough turns in there to get the health back up. It'd be nice if these leeches get off before she takes another turn, so she doesn't heal. That's nice. So Dythy's working pretty well, I think. So as I said, it shows you can really use that DPS spot. You just need to shift somebody in there that is squishy enough to get killed. And as I said, those two guys to the right with Dythy and Herndig, if they can kill each other, really makes this comp work well. And then the other three champs just can't be really tanky. And 4 of these 5 champs can do turn meter drops. So that helps keep your team in the game. This is pretty much the only place I use Allure anymore now that Fire Knight Hard's out. Kind of a shame, because she was like the Fire Knight Queen, but doesn't get as much play for me anymore. I don't really use Syl anymore either. It's actually all these champs pretty much except, I think most of these champs, this is their place. I do use Herndig periodically in Arena. More for 3 versus 3 single farms, but I like that because then I don't mess their builds up in other content. So that went pretty well. 3.5 minutes, so it's definitely longer than using Ninja. So I did try Newt, just so you know. I didn't like Newt in this. I lost rounds with Newt in this Dythy spot. I tried Newt. I thought Newt would speed the runs up and be really nice because he would do the big ol' hits. But because he's Spirit, he can't kill Herndig well enough. And Herndig has Squishy. But I found Newt A1 is just weak. And his A2 is okay. But it's more a debuff where it weakens and drops decreases attack, I believe. Yeah, decreases attack. But it doesn't kill. So his A3 is just built for bosses. So I found Newt was a problem in here with Herndig. Now if you switch Herndig out and use an affinity where Newt can kill, then maybe it works. But as I said, these two spots have to be corresponding, that they can kill each other. That way this comp works. So I like Dythy in here because he's squishy enough, but he can hit. So those two can both hit and they can kill each other. So I think that's a powerful way to make any two work. And as I said, Herndig brings an AoE turn meter decrease. So if you can get that in one of the two spots, he doesn't do anything else at the boss but do damage. And that's what Ninja did. Ninja did damage. So this 5th spot can really just be a DPS spot. But this 2nd spot's helpful if it's doing turn meter too. And as I said, they have to be able to kill each other. So let's go look at the champs that we were using here. So that's Herndig. He's in lethal. And he's got perception in there so I can get that accuracy up. He's in crit rate gloves, actually. Interesting enough. He's not in my best gear because, as I said, I don't really use him too many other places. But he does have, respectable 216 crit damage and 4.6 attack. But he's squishy. As I said, that's helpful here. But brings enough accuracy to land that decreased turn meter. He's fully booked. He's got Brimstone on there from way back. Probably should have something else, but it works in this comp actually, because then if he lands Smite on that boss, that actually is nice, I will say. Those are his masteries. He's in Helm Smasher, so he's got attack masteries. And he's picking up the support tree to get some accuracy out of there. He's got lifesteal on there, which is nice to get some more healing, but probably doesn't need anything more than the leech anyway. Those are Syl's masteries. She's in there with War Master, which is helpful for the boss. And she's on the defense tree. She's got Retribution and Deterrence, so if she does get hit and she comes back with that A1, that can actually be helpful. Fully booked, no blessing. She's in a Relentless set, which actually is really nice when she procs that. She does have some damage on there, which I do find helpful because she can, she's defense based, so with that, 3.9 defense, 162 crit damage. I mean, it's not a strong nuker build, but she hurts, and she can, when she hits the mirror copies, she can kill them, so that is helpful. As I said, the accuracy is not as high as I'd like, because if she lands at decreased speed, we would have a higher win rate, but it's good enough, and I don't really care, so I'll use her. This Dark, I built him just for the Sylvan War faction, and he got gear nobody else was wearing, but I still feel like the build came out pretty good. So he's in lethal, and he's got perception, so we can get his accuracy up for the faction. I would say in this boss, 234 is not going to land anything, so he's not really going to get, well, not on the boss. But it would land it on the mirror copies, so that I wouldn't dismiss that. The accuracy would be enough to land on the mirror copies, and that actually is helpful. His A1's not booked, 2 and 3 are, which are the skills that really matter, because that's where he does his damage and gets his cooldowns. So this one would get 20% more damage, which could be decent. And he would have a 60% chance of removing a buff. Not a bad skill to book, and I probably should book that because I have a pile of epic books. But anyway. He has Crushing Ren, 6-star. That is really nice. Less against the mirror copies, because with 60 levels it doesn't do as much damage. But against the boss, that does have an impact. And you don't need accuracy for that. So he was decreasing the boss's defense, which is nice. And his Mastery Season, Helm Smasher, more offense tree. And then I am picking up some accuracy for him on that one. A lot of people are going to have on this team will pick up lasting gifts, so those buffs can stay up, and he does a lot of self buffs, or Master Hexer as well. Deacon, speed, accuracy, perception, basically just trying to get that high accuracy and speed out of him, and speed more than anything. He's got 271 speed. He's got some decent damage on him. Deacon can hit hard. He's actually a really good epic. I didn't get the stats because with the 271 speed and 359 accuracy, I couldn't get that much more out of him without. And as I said, I'm not using gear others were using, but I think that is a pretty good build for what I'm going to get out of him. He has full booked. Apparently, I could put a blessing on him. That's 2 stars, and I never have, so I probably should do that. He's got offense and defense masteries. He's got the deterrence and retribution on there, which are nice. He's got War Master, so he can do some damage to the boss. Lifesteal, so good masteries for this one. And then Allure. You can see her masteries. She's got Giant Slayer because she's only really using the A1. Got Lifesteal as well. Picking up Master Hexer and some accuracy off the support tree. On skills, you really don't need to book Allure. All I really want out of her is the A1, so nothing's booked. I have over 400 epic books, but I just don't see the point. Once again, she's got a blessing that I haven't applied, so I guess I could put that on there. And she has 269 speed, so she's slower than Deacon by design. I actually had her faster. She was like 280, I think. I had to drop her down to be slower than Deacon, because otherwise it would screw the comp up. And she has 385 accuracy, so she'll land that A1. If she doesn't land the A1, she's useless at the boss. So you have to have the accuracy on her. She actually can hit pretty hard with that A1, so I did get some damage on her too out of the build. And she's squishy, but she can take it. So I don't really have that being a problem for me. She gets some healing out of the Immortal set, which is nice. And I didn't need as much perception or accuracy to get that build up, so it worked out. I'm sure the optimizer helped me there. And then for Ninja, for whoever's watching this that has Ninja, perception, accuracy, he's actually built for the Sand Devil for me. So that's why he's at 202 speed but 520 accuracy. You don't need 520 accuracy at this boss. You only need like 350. He's built for the Sand Devil, where I do need the 500 accuracy for stage 25. If anybody wants to see that team, let me know. I can actually do a video on the Sand Devil too. I've got a good team there that works for me. He's not in the duel with Godseeker. I've got him actually in a team with like Woad Painted and Helicath and Crimson Helm and others. So he's got a decent attack build with speed and accuracy for that comp. And his masteries, I'm getting Eagle Eye for the extra accuracy for that board. It'd be nice to have War Master on him, but I needed the 50 accuracy on there. So I think those are everybody that we used. For those that have them, I did use Astrolon in that comp before. Astrolon subs in fine in the Ninja or Daithy spot. Astrolon also works just as well. Tried Roll a Guard, that does not. It can work, I just don't think it's reliable. I tried Nishak, it doesn't work. I can't. He doesn't do the job. And then Newt also didn't work. Those are the people I tried recently. So I think that's it. That's Dark Fae. So let me know what you think. If there's anything I missed on there or ways I could have done this better or any information or other things you'd like to see, please throw some comments on there. Thanks. Hope it helped the people that were asking me about Dark Fae.